Hello, 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 everyone. This is Ebony Vaughn, and as always, I come to you with a word to encourage, a word to empower, and a word to equip. And I come to you by way of Nexus Wellness Group, where wholeness is our priority. And I want to talk about something that we often talk about in leadership circles, but I think that it is definitely something that we should monitor on a daily basis. And what is that but offense, right? As a leader. Okay. And one of the things that I want to say today is that leadership isn't just about managing people, but it's also about us having the ability and the maturity to manage our hearts. Okay. In the aspect of unity, I think that one of the greatest causes of division, partiality, and dissension in our organizations, in our homes, in our churches, or even in our communities is when we hold unresolved offense, particularly when leaders hold unresolved offense, right? And I want you to think about that. Many times we have hurt, we've been betrayed, maybe we felt overlooked or even wounded in the very places or with the very people that we are called to lead, right? But if we don't heal that, oftentimes it will begin to influence and infect our culture and our communities. And I want to use that word infect because oftentimes it is subtle and we don't always realize that we're doing it. Because when you think about an offended heart, when you think about us walking in that place of offense, it creates biases. It affects our decisions, our relationships, and ultimately, it really affects our ability to lead those people fairly. Okay. What I want to say to you is that it is important for us to daily examine our hearts. And not only that, but not allow those unresolved wounds to become organizational wounds. Does that make sense? Like we have to be at that place as leaders where we don't enable the way we feel and how we've been impacted negatively to spill into our organizations, okay? Even more damaging, it's when leaders process their offense with the people they lead. How many times have you done that? How many times have you had an offense with one of those that you lead and you talk to their colleagues? You talk to those people that work whether in their departments or maybe in another department, but they're still colleagues. How often do you do that? Speaking negatively about others may feel validating in the moment, but as a leader, you destroy trust and you bring division, right? I was getting ready to say divide teams, but I want to say that when we as leaders spill our offense into our teams, into our organizations, amongst colleagues, oftentimes there is division that takes place, but then there's also a level of dissension in the power and privilege side. And what do I mean by that? Because my colleague may know how you feel about me, but you may not have talked to me about it. Does that make sense? It creates division. And it is so important that we understand that that can truly infect our organization. Okay. And so, one of the things that I want to say is that not every offense needs an audience. And sometimes we have to use discretion and wisdom on who we share this information to. Here's what I always say: don't talk to your people's colleagues or their peers about them. Don't do that. Because oftentimes what happens is it creates resentments, especially if there's a level of loyalty and even if there is um, a level of dissension among them two. And then you, as the leader, come in and you bring your part in, and it creates even more division. So it is so important that we understand that a healthy culture begins with healthy leaders. A healed heart leads with wisdom, humility, fairness, and integrity. Leaders, let's use wisdom. We are going, there are so many aspects of leadership that we don't have any control over, but it is important for us, the spaces that we choose to process and to deal with the wounds that we may gather in our leadership journey. I will always say, God, guard your heart, protect your culture, and lead from a place of wholeness. God bless you guys and have an amazing day.